I think I heard my call from a very young age. My pastor at Holy Trinity, where I grew up and I attended school, he was very warm and very welcoming. I think from that time, I think I was headed towards that direction, a very kind of a fatherly identity that I was able to relate with at such a young age. But just being a young man and having my own desires, I thought that I wanted a family. I thought I wanted a good job and have the fruits of life. Then getting into college and starting to lose my faith. My sister, my elder sister, she got sick in the 90s, early in the 90s, I believe in '89. And she had a profound effect on me. This was my big sister who I looked up to, and she was good at everything, good at school, good at sports, athletics, and she was beautiful. But then when she was gone, it just made it a lot more difficult on me and my family. But she always kept her faith during that. She was very devout. She would go to church. And I was already distancing myself from the church at that time. But it was a wonder to me that my sister still kept up her faith. She passed away in '94, and then I think that kind of drew me farther away from the church. But God's call just doesn't stop. He's always looking for a way to reach out and reconnect. I had taken a trip to Asia. I was just in a really bad place living here in the United States, and I wanted something completely different. And it was in that time period that I was able to reconnect with my sister in a very prayerful manner. I remember this one night where I was on a bus and I was going to some far off location, and I was praying with my sister, and she just came to me. I don't know if it was through imagination or if it was actually the Holy Spirit working through her and communicating to me, but nonetheless, I kind of restruck my relationship with God at that moment. When I got back home, I reintegrated myself into the church. I started with singing with the choir, and then I went into become a Eucharistic minister, visiting people in retirement homes or those that were homebound. And I realized that living for myself wasn't a good recipe, and I found joy in serving. The great revelation, the great switch that I made was becoming passive to active. Being a parishioner and just receiving, and then moving into ministry, putting into action all of those things that I had been learning, all of that spirituality that had been growing inside of me. Once I put it into work and I felt that joy, then it just felt right. I remember before being ordained that I was scared of the liturgy. I attended the liturgy classes and I paid attention, but that transition of a theoretical practice and moving it into the real world, I had a great dread of that moment. I think I should have enjoyed it more, my first Mass, but every time after that, I've grown in that joy of celebrating my Mass, and so that fear, that anxiety that was before, has completely evaporated, and now it's the joy of my day. I mean, I get to start the day with the Mass. I get to start the day with leading a group of faithful closer to Jesus Christ. And isn't that the point of our faith? Bringing together God with His people. And I get to be that channel.